So we have the transaxle out, and I would suggest that you loosen up this bracket here, maybe even take it right off, and the same goes for the other motor mount bracket on this side, which I did take off. You can see I have a setting there, and I found in the process that my connecting rod for the hydrostatic control was missing this rear clevis pin, and you can see these are worn pretty bad. We'll see what happens here. At any rate, we have the transaxle out here, and this puppy is really dirty, and one of the things that causes the fluid to go bad is when they get buried in dirt and muck. You get out of there so you can see, and believe it or not, there actually is a plug right down in here. Can you see that down in there? Right at the end of my finger. And there is another one. I believe it's somewhere buried under here. Maybe it's down in here in this mess. But we're going to clean this out. That's the first thing we got to do. So we're going to power wash it. You all know how to do that, so I'm not going to show you. But we're going to use our power washer that we picked up at where else but the dump. And the only thing I had to do to help it along was put some wheels on it. The wheels were broken off. And the wheels on this came off of a scooter, one of those motorized, what do they call them, razors. I'd actually picked up two different ones over time. These were the rear wheels, and they happen to go on there pretty nicely. A little modification and fit quite nicely. And yeah, they came from the dump too. So we'll get this power washed, and then what I need to do is take this cover here off, and that's how we empty the fluid out, and then we will actually fill it through there as well and make sure we get all the air out of it when we get it filled. So there's a diaphragm behind here, and you fill it up, as I understand it, you fill it up to the diaphragm. Now I gotta tell you, these are not supposed to be have maintenance done on them. They are considered to be a throwaway by the factory. There are no instructions on how to change the oil or to check the fluid level or any of that stuff. So this is a do-it-yourself. Rather than spending $200 to $400 for a used or a new transaxle, we can clean this one out, put new fluid in it, which obviously has broken down from heat. Probably is the main factor with this, with all the grease and dirt caked onto it, and years of use. And I think I'm going to check the level of the gear fluid as well once I find the plug. I know it's there somewhere, just got to find it. So I think I'm going to take that top pulley off while I have it right out in the open, and give me better access for cleaning. So next up, we're going to be draining the oil. Hey guys, look who's back from his trip in Washington, D.C. It's Jesse, and he got here just in time. We're finished up cleaning up this transaxle. I'm going to put some cleaner on it now. I've just been blasting with straight water. We'll bring you back. Hey guys and gals, this is the hardest part of the whole job right here. These screws are Torx, but they have a little nubbin in the middle because they're not supposed to be removed. And you can't grab them with vice grips, you can't get a hold of them with a chisel to turn them. So what I have ended up doing is I put a slot in them, and they come right out. It's hard to do when you're not left-handed. But see that? Coming right out. I will replace them with something different when I put it back together. So once I get this cover off, I have my drain pan waiting right there, and my trusty helper Jesse right there, and we're going to dump the oil out of it. While I'm working on that transaxle, Jesse is over here stripping down these scooters. This one here had a major crinkle in the front thanks to the guy that crunches the metal down in the dumpster at the dump, but not a problem. So he's stripping the parts off of both of them because we're going to be making a motorized scooter. More to come on that later. I think we may have found part of our problem. Let's see if I can tip this up. There's almost no oil in there. See down in there. And that's supposed to be up to about this point here, as I understand it, right up to where the bellows come. So that could be why it was slipping and not going very well. So we'll clean this out and put some fresh oil in there and put it back together, and we'll check the gear oil. Oh, and speaking of gear oil, let me slide this over here. I told you there were two plugs. There's one there, that's for the gear oil, and here's the other one here. That is for for the hydraulic oil, or in this case we use motorcycle oil, 2050. And so the oil should be at least up to that fill hole, and probably a little above that. Anyway, that's the next step.